Hello everyone, welcome back to playing Minecraft Infdev, all the way to release 1.8.9. Today we are updating to version alpha 1.0.16, and this version was released on August 12th, 2010, and it made commands usable again in servers. And that is pretty much about it. So if you wanted to have a server, I guess, you could mess with that, but I don't think I don't know if it's safe to do servers in these like really old alpha versions yet, but I have no idea. But anyways, I thought it would be about time that we update because I have been playing on 1.0.15 for a while, and I've also just been busy with other stuff in general, and I think it's about time. This whole tree farm roof is almost completely done. I'm hoping that it doesn't like mess up the growing or anything. I looked it up multiple times and it said that trees don't need direct sunlight to grow. So it should be fine, hopefully. And then after that, we're doing the sugarcane farm. So that'll be fun. And this stone is going to take forever to cook. So we are getting really close to alpha 1.1.2 underscore 01. And before I update to that version, you can see that I haven't really done anything in here since since the last episode because, well, we got all the green grass in here to grow, but the tree still isn't growing. And it's been like this for hours, for literal hours. So I'm just gonna say, this probably isn't gonna grow. So I don't know why, but it's just not wanting to grow. I mean, yeah, there's not much space right here. That's probably what's causing the issue, but it can still grow. There's still that chance that it will grow. It just takes a really long time. But yeah, for now this is just like this. I'll eventually add more stuff to this area. I'm not sure what yet though. And before we update to 1.1.2 underscore 01, I believe. I think that's right. There's a lot of projects I want to get done. So first of all, in 1.0.16 underscore 02, there's something very special I want to do, and that's going to be in like the version after this one. Well, not after this one, but like after the like two versions after this one, basically. So, and then there's something I think I want to get the sugarcane farm before I update to 1.0.16 underscore 01, because then we actually have some more stuff to build with. We have more decoration. Oh my god, my neck is literally killing me this morning. It's been really bad since I woke up. My neck has been really sore. I don't know what to do about it. I I don't know if it's because of the way I slept last night or what. Like, I think I slept okay, but I don't know. I sleep on my side, and I tried to sleep on my back last night because I couldn't fall asleep. I literally like couldn't get myself to sleep. So I was trying to sleep on my back to see if that would work, and that didn't really work either because I felt like I was just more awake. I guess it didn't really help. I guess I don't know. Um, I don't know if that messed me up though. I couldn't sleep on my back though. So yeah, I don't know. I'm also wondering if you guys would like it if I started editing my videos, because right now I don't really edit my videos, and there's a lot of parts that I cut out. So I don't know if that's something you guys would like. Let me know. But I kind of doubt anyone is gonna respond because I don't know. This channel is still really small. So yeah, I'm not sure. There's no audio going through right now because my headset turned off. So yeah, I that's what happens when I leave for a while. My headset automatically turns off because it's Bluetooth, which is kind of annoying. I wish it didn't do that. I wish there was like a setting or something to not have that happen. I guess it saves battery life, but there's also this, I don't know, this headset is just really weird. Like, so it has Bluetooth, but you can also plug it in. And so sometimes when I use Bluetooth and I'm on Discord, um, the headset just randomly turns off. I don't know why. I don't know if the headset is not detecting any sound somehow, or what the deal with that is, but my headset when it's on Bluetooth, just for whatever reason, it just turns off when I'm on Discord. So it doesn't happen all the time, but it happens sometimes, and it's kind of annoying because I have to turn my headset back on. I wish it didn't do that. Um, but yeah, I'm not sure what I want to do yet for the sugarcane farm design, like for the floor or whatever, but I got a few ideas. I haven't really been uploading that much, and that's basically because I'm kind of busy with other things right now. I've been trying to just take a break from this world because I've been playing on it a lot, and I'd rather do other things at some point. So, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love playing on this world. It's just that I can't be on it all the time. So, yeah, I don't know. Um, this video might come out today or it might come out tomorrow. Who knows? Depends on when I get this sugarcane farm done. You all have to see. Um, but yeah, I don't know. My neck has just been really annoying the crap out of me. We don't have any ibuprofen at home. I literally looked everywhere. There's no ibuprofen, so I'm just gonna have to deal with my sore neck because it's driving me nuts. So I'm probably gonna do some stretches or something. See if that helps. Probably will. I know my parents are probably just gonna tell me like, "Oh, you need to get off the computer. Stop playing video games." But like, I haven't even played video games that much in the past 24 hours. So, yeah, I don't think that's really the issue. I don't know. I think parents kind of like, I feel like there's kind of a disconnect between parents who were born in the 80s through 90s and parents who are and people who were born in the 2000s through 2010s. I think there's kind of a generational disconnect there, but I'm not really sure. I'm not an expert. That's the other thing. I don't understand why we I don't understand why we have all these stupid like labelings of generations like Gen Z and Gen Alpha and millennials and stuff like that. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's stupid. Because okay, for one, a Gen Z can be born, they could be like 20 years old for example, and another Gen Z could be like 15 years old. That's a huge difference because one is still in high school and the other one is an adult and they're figuring stuff out in life, actually. So that's a huge difference. So I don't entirely agree with the whole like labeling generations thing with like Gen Alpha and Gen Z and shit like that. I think it's stupid, like really stupid, and I think it's just the way the internet has kind of like made us perceive shit. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me. It's so dumb. But that's just kind of my that's just kind of my rant about the whole generational thing. Honestly, I think, everyone is different. Everyone has their own different experiences, so you can't just like, you know, you can't say that someone is like someone else just because, they're a part of the same group or something, if that makes sense, or if you know what I'm getting at. But I'm gonna cut down a bunch of these trees and I'm gonna cut all that out. So I want to talk to you guys for a second about this because it's kind of silly, and I thought it would be worthy for some talking time. But so there's this job that I'm trying to get, and it's a housekeeping job, and it's part-time every other week, and it's at this hospital. Anyways, um, so this job it's a corporation, um, and they're kind of all over the place. They're like at the city that I live near. I don't live in this city. I live in a small town. I'm not gonna say where, obviously, but anyways, this place. So I've been trying to get a job at there, and so I had to take this physical exam to get the job, right? And it was just like simple things like, can you do this? Can you can you read this? Can you whatever? They make you do a bunch of like random silly stuff. Anyways, um, so for some strange reason, there was a lifting assessment, they call it a lifting assessment, and I'm assuming all it is you just like lift a few items or something, or you do certain things, and it probably doesn't take that long, right? Anyways, um, I go there to do my physical exam, and the first thing they told me is that I couldn't do my lifting assessment that day because for whatever reason. I don't remember why. It was some weird reason that I don't remember why. Anyways, they told me I couldn't do it, and they said, well, you can do it next Monday. And I said, I don't know if that works for me because the place that I'm doing this at, it's like an hour away from me, and I have to get a ride there because I'm not a very experienced driver yet, so I'm not really familiar with the city. Anyways, so they give me that. I'm like, I'm not sure if I can really do Monday because I'd have to ask someone for a ride. Well, I don't tell them that. I don't tell them that I need a ride. I just tell them that I don't know if I can do that. And they're like, well, you can reschedule it if you have to. So call this number if you have to, whatever. And oh my God, and then I get a text saying that, can you come tomorrow because we have to do a fingerprinting scan or a fingerprinting thing, and it should only take 30 minutes. And I'm like, so I have to get a ride to the city 3 times for this housekeeping job, and it's like an hour away from where I live. So I told my parents about it, and they were like, yeah, that's not normal. They shouldn't be having you do that. So so basically what I did is I did the fingerprinting scanning thing on the same day, and because it didn't take that long. And I told them everything. I said, I need to get this done today because I can't always get a ride, you know, because I live far away and blah, blah, blah. And then we do it. And, well, I still have to do my, like, lifting assessment thing. And I need to, like, figure out if anyone can give me a ride there. Because, like I said, I'm not an experienced driver. I don't know how to drive through the city. I have little driving experience in that part. So, yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. They know where I live, I'm pretty sure, because I put my address on like a million different, like, you know, pieces of paper and different forms that I had to sign and whatever. But, anyways, the other thing is like, this whole thing probably could have been easily avoided because I called the people. I'm not gonna say who they are because I don't want to like dox myself or anything, but I called them and I said, "Can we do it on Tuesday instead? Because Monday doesn't work for me." And they said, that doesn't really work either. You're gonna have to do it on a different day, like Wednesday or something." And then I told them like, "Well, here's the thing. I live an hour away, and I I was told when I got to my physical exam that I can't do the lifting assessment for whatever dumb reason it is, and that I had to do it on a different day." And the lady told me, "Well, that doesn't make any sense because it says here that you should have done it on that day instead." And I'm like, okay. So basically, there's like no communication happening between anybody, as far as I understand. Uh, and it's very like disorganized. It's just, it's a mess. So yeah, I just thought I'd share that with everyone, just to tell you like what's been going on in my life recently. But I don't know. I don't really care that much, honestly. I think it's silly, but it doesn't really. I don't know. It doesn't really affect me that much, I guess. I've also been wanting to get into programming for like college and stuff. I've been thinking about that a lot recently, but I don't know if that's something that I should do. I don't know if that's entirely safe because a lot of people, from what I've heard, they get a computer science degree and then they don't really go anywhere with it because, from what I know, a lot of like businesses they're not looking just for a college student. You know what I mean? They want someone that has more experience than that. So I'm not really sure. What I want to do. I might end up. I might just like go to college and then change my mind at some point. I don't know. The game is lagging like really bad right now. What the heck? Okay. I'm not sure what that's all about. That's probably just. I think it's OBS, honestly. Also, I didn't really say anything about it, but I changed the train station, and now that I see it, it's a little bit messed up, so I'm gonna have to fix that part. But anyways, yeah, I changed the train station a bit because I thought it was too big, and it was just kind of unnecessary, so I changed it. Why is it lagging so bad? Oh my god. Sorry about the lag. The lag is just like I think it's an OBS thing, honestly, where the lag happens. It happens on Roblox too, I think. I don't know. If you guys ever seen any of my videos of me playing Roblox, sometimes my game will like freeze up for a couple seconds. It's really annoying. I don't know what to do. I don't know if there's some kind of thing I can do in settings that fixes it. I'm not really sure. Um, maybe it's because I have a bunch of tabs open too. I have no clue. But yeah, it really probably shouldn't be an issue, but who knows? You know, one thing that kind of sucks with a lot of careers, I feel like, is that there's too many of them now. And this has probably always been an issue. It's probably not anything new. But I feel like there's just too many of them where there's too many college, like people who are coming out of college who need that job. And what ends up happening is you have all these kids, these college kids, who are looking for a career, and these businesses can't take them all. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of turns into a whole mess, I guess. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of a huge problem, but maybe I'm wrong. That seems to be an issue with the programming industry. Is there's too many college people coming out of college who need to get a job, and those businesses are probably looking for something more than just, you know, some guy that got out of college. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah. Okay, I need to admit something to you guys real quick. Um, I think I made a huge mistake coming to this location of my world. So, I don't know if you know this, but in these versions, for a long time there was a bug where, for some reason, most of the ores were only on the positive axis of the world. But, you know what else I just realized I messed up on? I messed up on that. I need to get rid of that. Anyways, um, I noticed that, oh my god, I'm having a fucking brain fart right now. I noticed that this probably isn't the positive axis in my world, and that's because the diagram I've been using for that is wrong. It's wrong. So you know how I've said that this where the sun sets, that's where the positive axis is, or where the sun rises, I mean. That's not right. It's actually where the sun sets is where the positive axis is supposed to be. So I've basically gone in the complete opposite direction of where I was supposed to go, which is really disappointing, but I don't feel like moving. So I'm staying here. So I've been building this, and I just realized that I can't really um, there's no way for me to waterlog water with a slab and have the water still be there, because if I place a slab, it doesn't place the top half. Um, it doesn't take. You can't place the top half first. You have to place the bottom half first. So there's no way I can't like walk over the water basically easily. Um, and I mean that's not really an issue, but the issue is that, oh god, what the fuck? Why am I walking? Okay, stop. Okay, sorry. My I need to plug in my computer. It was lagging. Anyways, um, oh yeah. So my issue is that there's not going to be any light for these sugarcane to grow. So I'm gonna have to have some kind of hanging light, I guess, in this, because I'm not sure how else I'm gonna get it to grow. It probably needs some light. And in case if you're wondering, no, I cannot use sand for sugarcane. It literally, I've already right-clicked on sand with sugarcane. It doesn't work. You can't do that. So don't ask me why that is. It just is that way. Um, you know, I could probably just make like a platform I could probably make like a platform where it's just like a block going up above the water. But I don't know if I want to do that. It might look really bad. I don't know. We'll see. I'll have to experiment with a few different things. I have no idea. I still don't know how I really want the wall to be. The wall for the tree farm doesn't look that great in my opinion either. I think I want to change it a little bit to whenever, I don't know why, it's just like whenever I build something big, sometimes I mess it up a little bit and then the whole thing gets messed up. That's kind of why I struggle a lot when I'm building big things, is because if you make a little mistake, you have to start everything over and it causes a huge mess. So that's kind of why this is different right here. This corner is different. But if I did change it, that would require me to change those whole two kind of areas, which is what I mean by that. So yeah, I'm not sure what I want to really do about that yet, but we'll see. You guys are probably wondering why, or I shouldn't say why. You guys are probably wondering what I think about the new Minecraft update that's going to come out. The Sulfur Caves update. I don't remember what it's exactly called. One, two. I think that's about one. Yeah, okay. I'm just making sure. But so they're coming out with a new Sulfur Cave update. And I'm someone who like plays old and new Minecraft mainly. I'm not really someone who prefers one over the other, really. I don't know. I think both kind of have their flaws. There's going to be no light here. So I'm wondering if I should just, you know what, let's just go like this. Also, I'm redoing this whole thing because I think it would just be easier to do it this way, even though there's less sugarcane. But anyways, yeah, you guys are probably wondering what my thoughts are on it, and honestly, I don't think it's that bad. It's just that like I've said in the past, like it's not that much, I'd say. Like it's another one of those updates where they don't really add that much to the game. Like I think the sulfur cube is really cool. That you can like do different things with it. I think it's cool that you can like turn it into a football and stuff. It's really cool for like mini games and stuff like that. But other than that, it doesn't really like it doesn't change the gameplay a lot. I would have to argue. Like it doesn't change the meta or anything like that. And that's something I think this game suffers from a lot. Like they don't really ever change the meta, which kind of sucks in my opinion. It hasn't been changed in like a good couple of years, I'd have to say. Like you still do the same thing. And I can't help but feel like the progression of the game is kind of all over the place because you can start and end it whenever you want. It's basically just like you get diamonds, you go to the nether, you get blaze rods, and then you kill enderman, and then you go to the end and defeat the ender dragon, and then you go and get an elytra and shulker boxes, and boom, now you basically have everything you need, and you obviously get netherite too. I mean, obviously, you can play it however you want, but I can't feel like the progression is kind of just like all over the place. And the thing that really sucks, that I wish, this is something that's been an issue with the game forever, but the enchantment system it doesn't help anything. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, it's... I wish that leveling and enchanting was done in a way where you didn't just like AFK at a mob farm to get the best stuff. Because, number one, it's really boring. Like, no one wants to sit in AFK at a mob farm. And number two, it's RNG based. So if you don't get the enchantment you want, you have to wait longer. And that's just, I don't think that's fun. That's not really fun. I wish they made it so that, I don't know, maybe there's like some kind of dungeon or something. Maybe there's like some kind of structure you have to go through, and it gives you a bunch of XP, and then you can use that to like, I don't know, get like better enchantments and stuff. I think that would be really cool, but that's not really a thing. I mean, there's the trial chambers, but they don't really. I'd argue that you don't really need to use them either. I mean, it's good for loot and stuff, but it's not really. You wouldn't really use it for XP. I mean, it really depends. There's also the illagers and stuff. But like I said, like, you don't... Like, it's just better, it's more efficient to wait at a mob farm. Because you can do that. But at the same time, it's kind of just like, I don't know, it's kind of boring, if that makes sense. And so that's kind of why I wish, like, how it used to be is that you would have to strip mine or go caving to get your diamonds. You can still do that, but now, like, ever since they changed the caves and cliffs, you know how they changed like how all the ores generate and everything. Now it's easier than ever to get diamonds. Like, it is insanely easy. And don't even get me started on how easy it is to like get everything from villages. It is just like, oh my gosh. I've never really complained that much about the villages, but I can't help but relate to those people who have those kinds of issues with the game. Because if you think about it, villages do kind of just generate everywhere. It is insanely easy to find them. They seem to only be like a couple hundred blocks apart, and they have basically everything you need in mid game. So, and that's kind of my biggest issue with this game, is that this game doesn't really seem to be balanced like at all. Either that or, I mean, that and the progression is just kind of all over the place. Like, you have to set up all these mob farms, you have to go to the end and do all this. Like, there's not many games like that. There's not many games like that where you have to do all that. Terraria's progression is a lot more set in stone, I'd have to say, or it's a lot more like it makes a lot more sense than having to do mob farms and all that crazy stuff. Because you don't need to do that. You basically you get the best tools, you get the best like weapons and armor and blah blah blah, and then you kill the next bosses, and that's how Terraria's progression worked. I don't know why Minecraft's progression needs to be so weird. Like, it doesn't make sense compared to other games if you think about it. I don't know. It's just something to think about. Like, I wish this game had progression that actually made sense. You know what I mean? But it's whatever. You just kind of live with it, I guess. I mean, it doesn't mean that I'm gonna stop playing the game or anything. It's just, it doesn't really make sense. I mean, most people, they play this game because they want to build. That's part of the reason why I want to play. And I also like the challenge of survival mode. But, you know, like I said, survival mode doesn't really make much sense, I guess. Because, well, I don't know. I just feel like they keep making the game easier. And the thing about that is like, okay, well that's cool and all, but people are playing survival for the challenge. And even if you play it on the hardest difficulty, it's still not even that hard, I'd have to argue. Like the only thing that gets harder are the mobs and the spawning and whatever. That's basically about it. So it's not that much of a challenge, I guess. So I'm not really sure. With a game like Minecraft, I'm not a developer, so I don't really have the solution either. Um, Sorry, I'm just trying to think right now. So this is gonna be, yeah, that's right. But yeah, I thought if I just made it like this, it would be easier to do it that way because, yeah. But anyways, back to what I was talking about. Um, yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with the sulfur cube. I think it's interesting. Um, I think it would be cool for like mini games and stuff, but it's definitely an update. It's another update that's not really for everyone. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's gonna be a lot of people that don't end up using it. If that makes sense. Just because like not everybody, you know, it's not something that's necessary. If that makes sense. And that's not me trying to hate on it or anything, but it's just me saying like it's not something that you need to do to progress. And I don't want to sound like I'm hating on like new Minecraft or whatever because I'm not one of those. I'm not I'm not really one of those people that hates everything about new Minecraft and only stick to like, you know, these versions, whatever. It's just that I'm not really interested in playing those versions anymore, I guess. I'm only really just lately I've just been on a grind of playing the old versions. So, yeah, I don't know. That's just how I've been. Um, I do care a lot about the game. I hope it gets better. But as of right now, I don't know. The future for this game is kind of uncertain, I guess. I'm not really sure. I don't know if I've said this in the past already, but I do feel like the game is kind of going in a more kid-friendly direction, I guess. I don't know how else to say it. Because they're adding like all these new mobs and stuff, like the Tiny Takeover update, stuff like that. It kind of just seems like they're trying to appeal to kids, if that makes sense. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, obviously, but um, I don't know. It just feels really corporate, if that makes sense. So please don't like, please don't go after people in the comments or anything. Don't go after like, yeah. Don't spread hate. Obviously, I want to keep everything civil here. Um, this channel is just kind of for people to chill, and I don't want to like I don't want to talk about it too much because I feel like if I talk about I feel like if I talk about new Minecraft and critique it too much, then people are gonna not enjoy that. And because that's because this channel isn't about negativity. I don't want to make it about being negative all the time. You know what I mean? I want to make this channel into something where it's something where someone can just put on in the background and listen to it, or they can listen to it while sleeping or whatever, or after like a hard day of work, you know, something like that. Um, that's kind of what my goal is here. This channel is also kind of just like an archive for random videos that I have. I feel like that kind of messes with the algorithm though, because YouTube might see that and be like, YouTube might see that I upload like Roblox, for example, and be like, okay, is this guy a Minecraft YouTuber? Or is he a Roblox YouTuber. Like, we can't decide what he is. Or does he play both, you know? Like, I feel like the algorithm... I feel like the YouTube algorithm wants you to be a very specific thing, if that makes sense. And that's kind of hard for a lot of channels, especially gaming channels, because, you know, they play a lot of different games, so... But I'm not really too concerned with how the algorithm deals with my videos, just because I don't really plan on making money off of this. I mean, that's literally in my channel's description, is I don't plan on making money off of this, because I don't see myself making money off this channel. I just don't think that's realistic. But yeah. I don't know, maybe in the future, if I get a lot of views and I feel like this channel is becoming very successful, I'll change my mind about that, but I'm not really sure. YouTube is not really, it's not really an ideal career for me. Just because, like, I don't know. I feel like if I was making YouTube videos every day, that would get really old really fast. Sorry, I'm just trying to check where I need to... So it's this one right here. Yeah. That fixed it. And then... There's not... Okay, yeah, this side is all good, it looks like. Yeah. It's just this one. That one is messed up, I'm pretty sure. So... But yeah, I just thought I'd share my opinion about the new Minecraft update. I'm kind of excited for Minecraft Dungeons 2. I haven't even beat the game on hardest difficulty yet. The first game, I should say. So, I think that'll be interesting. I think it's also interesting that they're now finally, like, revealing that there's a Warden dimension. I feel like a lot of fans really wanted that too, so I think that's pretty cool. I just don't know how... I mean, we don't know what it's going to be like yet, so I can't say for certain. Hopefully it doesn't turn out to be, like, really mediocre or anything. But yeah. I really hope the game gets better in the future. I hope it becomes... Because now they're having, like, all this other age verification stuff, like monetization, whatever. And that's really worrying for me. Because people in the UK now, they can't, like... Oh, what the fuck? Why are you in here? How did he spawn in here? This whole place should have been... What? What is he doing? Okay. His AI is a little bit weird. That was a little bit scary. I don't know where he came from. Where did he come from? There's like... Did he come... What? Okay, I'm gonna light this place up better, because I don't like the fact that he just spawned in my base somehow. Anyways, back to what I was saying. The whole, like, age verification thing that they're doing with the UK, that's also really worrying to me. I hope they don't, like, expand that to other countries, like the US, because that would really suck. Oh my god. There'd be a lot of people that would hate that. I mean, there obviously is a lot of people that hate it anyways, because it is really worrying that they're doing that. Yeah, I'm kind of worried about the future of this game, because it just, yeah, it doesn't look that great in my opinion. But I don't know, that could change. Hopefully it changes. We'll just have to see. Okay, so I thought I'd show this off real quick, and I am thinking this is the kind of design I want to go with. So I can actually still place slabs on top of the water, thank God, which makes it extremely easy for me to just walk over, and yeah. I think it's also easy because I can just punch the sugarcane. I can like step up here, punch the sugarcane, get it really easily. It's really nice. It's just there's a lot of this empty space here because of these wooden platforms in the middle, but I don't mind that. This sugarcane farm is gonna give us a lot of sugarcane, like a crap ton of sugarcane. In this wall design, it honestly isn't that crazy. It's just a very simple wall design that I came up with on the fly, so whatever. But I left this space all in the open because plan is to have a staircase going up, and then up there is hopefully going to be where the wheat farm will be, and that'll be fun to make too. I'll get the wheat farm done, and then after that, I'll work on something special for the one of the updates, one of the versions that's coming up pretty quick here. But yeah, I just thought I'd show that off for you guys. Okay, this is the kind of wall design that I want over on this side of the build. I don't think it looks too bad, honestly. It's very, very different from what I usually do. So, and it is very much experimental. It's like an alternating kind of pattern with stone and wood. Because, I mean, I might as well do something like this if I have a very limited block palette, you know, there's only so much you can do. But that's kind of like the challenge of building like this. And a lot of people would argue, like, well, why don't you just play a newer version if you're going to have trouble building with limited blocks? Well, number one, I think that, you know, if I were to build something like this in a modern version, it wouldn't look as good. It would probably look really bad because the textures and the lighting, they're completely different. Whereas in this version, all the textures and all the lighting is all blocky and really sharp. So it's like completely different, pretty much. So that's kind of my whole reasoning behind it. But yeah, that is kind of one reason why I do enjoy building in these versions, is because, like I said, it's just like you don't have to worry as much because of the textures and lighting. So yeah, I also just like hate trying to like compare my builds to other people's builds who obviously know way better how to build than I do, because I don't know, it just feels really demotivating to do that. I think it's better to just try to come up with your own design instead of doing that, because that's just kind of, I don't know, it's just counterproductive. And then your builds aren't as interesting because you're just trying to copy someone else, you know what I mean? So that's basically why. But yeah. Welcome back. I haven't unpaused the video in quite a bit. So one full harvest gives me 12 stacks of sugar cane. So 12 times 64, do the math. I don't know what it is. And if we come up here, you can see that this is the entire farm. I already harvested it. And I put these slabs over so I can easily walk over without having to deal with falling in the water, because I don't want to deal with that. And like I said, I can't place top slabs. I can only place bottom slabs. And I lit up the entire roof right here. The next thing I'm adding on top of this is going to be the wheat farm. And hopefully I'll be able to fit a cactus farm on top of that. I'm hoping that'll be very, very nice. The tree farm is already fully grown again. And this area over here, it's still largely undecorated. These trees are not growing, so I'm thinking about just removing them and putting something else there. I still kind of want to leave. I still kind of want to have this little garden bed. Maybe I can make it smaller or something. I'm not really sure. But I am a little bit tired, if you couldn't tell. Also, there's something I'd like to do. How the fuck did you... Okay, I don't know. There's something I'd like to do before we, like, update too much. There is a... So, there's a wiki... Sorry, I'm stretching right now. There's a wiki that tells you all of the discontinued features of the game. And one of those discontinued features, or I should say many of those discontinued features, were overstacked items. And what that basically means is, so in modern versions, eggs can only stack up to 16, but in these versions, they should be able to stack up to 64. But we can't breed chickens. That's not added until release 1.0. Like, so we are gonna have to go around and find chickens and hope that they drop 64 eggs. I don't even know if that's a realistic goal, because, yeah, I don't know. What I could do is I could just, like, maybe I could, like, trap a chicken somewhere and have them lay eggs. I'm not really sure. This guy's trapped right now. I don't know if they only lay one egg once, or if they keep laying eggs. I'm not entirely sure how that whole thing works. But, yeah, we're gonna update in the next version. I'm gonna decorate this a little better because it still doesn't look that great. And it'll be fun. Can't wait until we get fences and crouching, because fences would look really nice with these builds. I can now have bookshelves, which is really nice, but I really need fences. Fences would really help with the decoration, but there's literally like nothing. So also, I believe it is, yep, so you get 3 pieces of paper. This should give us about 3 stacks. And I'm going to show you how bookshelves were made. It's actually very simple. So, books, I'm pretty sure? No? Hold on. Okay, this is actually the book recipe. I had to look it up because it was confusing, but yeah, this is how you make books. You don't need any leather. So that is actually very nice. That means I can basically just farm books before, you know, before they add the recipe, if I really wanted to. So that's another nice thing about these versions, is you can just like do that. I also would like to get a triple chest, and you probably have no idea what that is. But I will probably show that in the next video. So anyways, I'm gonna end it here because this video is getting long and I'm tired. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye bye.